Greetings and welcome to the 24th episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters, where we take a look at 3 house mods every week as we try and find your dream home in Cyrodiil. As always, I'm your host, Dark Elf Guy, and this week we're taking a look at a few swampy homes out in the Blackwoods of southern Cyrodiil. From small bog-ridden cottages to isolated cabins in the woods, you'll see a decent variety of fairly swampy abodes in this week's episode. As always, you'll find down the links in the video description below for all the mods shown here. So let's get started with our popular house mod of the week, which this week is the amusingly named I Wanna Buy You a House by Tchos. And deep in the Blackwoods of southern Cyrodiil, you'll come across this home along the swamps here, and it's not a terribly large house or anything, more of a small Shireen style cottage with a small docks and an outdoor dining platform with a table for you to, take your meals and enjoy the scenic views of the surrounding marshlands. There's even an outdoor grill for cooking your own meals, and while this property is certainly, quite isolated from civilization, it's also quite scenic and, ideal for those looking to get away and live in the bogs of Cyrodiil. But moving on, you can see this home on the map here, and it's a bit of a hike to get to the nearest city of Bayou. This home is essentially in the middle of the Blackwoods, but it's, not the worst commute I've ever seen, and it does come with a map marker for fast travel, so that's fairly convenient. And going inside, you'll find a fairly small but lavishly finished cottage with just one large and open room here that pretty much connects everything. From the entry hall to the bedroom, kitchen, and the library magic lab up on the second floor, you'll find a rather cozy master bed in here, along with some storage to put your stuff into, as well as a bathtub in the kitchen-like area, though keep in mind the actual dining room is outside on the deck, as we saw earlier. And heading upstairs, you'll find the alchemy lab, which includes a set of alchemical equipment, and the library, of course. Now, it should be noted that this mod does come with cobble support, which adds an ingredient sorter and grinder to the alchemy lab, as well as a slew of other features to the house, though I'm using the standard version for the showcase here. And overall, this is a really nice, albeit, kind of small cottage in the swamps of the Blackwoods, with a number of features including outdoor dining, a map marker, of course, alchemy lab, and cobble support with a number of cobble features included. It is a bit isolated with a decent commute to Bayou, but if you're, looking for a swampy abode to call your own, you should definitely give this mod a try. And next up, we have our new house mod of the week, and this time around, we have Slimy Mudhole by Glue. And technically, this isn't a new mod at all. It was actually released in 2009, but most of the Blackwoods mods I've looked at for this episode were a bit on the older side. So this is one of the, quote, newer ones, end quote, that I could find. And in any event, this is a really small and rather unusual looking home. It's basically a sort of mud hut at the base of a tree stump. And before we go inside, we're going to take a look at the map here again. And you can see that this home does come with a map marker, as well as a moderately long commute into Bayou. It is right next to the other house mod that we just looked at, though. On a clear day, you can actually see this house from the deck of the other house that we just looked at, but thankfully they don't conflict. Now, before you can actually move in, you'll need to find the key first, which is hidden on the corpse of the previous owner, as detailed by this note that you'll find outside the door. This involves a bit of a riddle to find, but once you've got the key, the home is yours for the taking, and this is, really a very small home, basically just a one-room cottage with enough space for a bed, some storage, a chair, and a cooking area, and that's about it. That said, it's certainly quite unique looking and atmospheric, and also includes light switches, so you can turn lights on and off, which is a nice bonus. And the home is beautifully pre-decorated and detailed, with lots of, interesting odds and ends, including a few items that are evidently from Morrowind. And this little cottage really feels a lot like what the homes in Blackmarsh might, with, Argonian residents. And if you're playing as an Argonian, this might be a really nice, house to check out, provided you don't mind the rather cramped quarters, of course. And overall, this is a small and simple home, but it's wonderfully unique and atmospheric, presenting an original and detailed abode for you to call your own. It does come with a couple of features, including a map marker, labeled storage containers, and lights that you can turn on and off. This is a home that's ideal for those looking for a unique abode in the Blackwoods of Cyrodiil, and, who don't mind a smaller house to call home, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. And finally, we have our underrated house mod of the week, StapleNinja's Blackwood Thieves Hideout by StapleNinja. Now, this is a fairly small and somewhat abandoned-looking Bayou lower-class style home along the swamps of the central Blackwoods here, From the outside, it definitely looks like a fixer-upper with a lot of trash and debris, as well as a single rowboat out here. But before we go inside, let's take a quick look at the map. You can see this home here, and it's again a fairly modest commute back to Bayou, including a map marker for fast travel. And anyway, going into the main entry hall here, this house has a fairly typical layout for this, type of Bayou cottage, with a dining area right off the foyer, as well as a small armory, and a side hall here with additional storage. And the dining room also sort of counts as the kitchen here. And this also leads into a small sort of study and alchemy lab-like space, with shelves of ingredients and potions, as well as a stand for a bunch of alchemical equipment for you to use. And like most Bayou lower class homes, you'll find a bedroom in the back, and the entire house is rather, nicely pre-decorated, including a basement escape tunnel that leads out into the Blackwoods. Since this is a home that's, kind of meant for thieves after all, you need to be able to escape should, the Imperial Guards come knocking on your door. And in any event, this is a small but charming backwater abode that's perfectly suited for a thief-like character, or just, those who love the swamps of southern Cyrodiil. It does come with a few features, including a map marker, alchemy lab, a backstory, which we didn't really showcase here, an escape tunnel, and an armory. It's a nicely pre-decorated home, and if you're in the market for something like this, it's definitely worth checking out. And anyway, that wraps up all the mods that we have for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.